Today is a sad day.
Very sad day.
We've finally accepted reality that it's too cold and we're going to winterize. Because last night it was 16 degrees. So, it's time.
It's time.
I'm done living life with the lights out, die with my own doubts. Be free with me.
I'm going to drain the water heater first. I'm using the 15/16 socket with a little, I don't know, 3-inch extension on a 1/2-inch drive ratchet. 1/2-inch drive is way overkill, but this is just what fits and works. A lot of people complain it's hard to get to this plug right here, but this just happens to work perfect. Something that a lot of first timers forget about is the outside shower.
Yeah.
When we run the antifreeze through, we are going to run it through this as well. Otherwise that will freeze and it will break. Next thing I want to do is open up the low point drains, which is going to be on this particular trailer, this Airstream. It's inside. Look underneath, I can see it's behind the water heater. There's a white and a red PEX hanging down.
Yep.
So we're going to go inside because I also have to get to the back side of the water heater to close the bypass. So the low point drains should also be right there in that area. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but this is the dinette. I pulled the cushions off, and Airstream just puts a hole right here in the top. Now if we look down in here, see that yellow handle? That's the bypass for the water heater. And then over here, we got 2 black handles. That's for the low point drains. So I'm going to turn both of those and that one, and I should be good to go. A lot of RVs for the bypass and the water heater has 3 handles you have to turn, but this just has 1, so all I have to do is just turn that and it's bypassed. Since we're draining everything that's freshwater related, I'm going to drain the fresh tank. Right now there's about 20% in there. So the way Airstream does it, it's between these axles where I can't even see it. All I gotta do is just turn this valve open and let it drain while I'm doing everything else.
There's water.
So I'm gonna remove this strainer because it's full of water. This trailer, believe it or not, Airstream did not install a bypass to pull antifreeze through. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove this strainer just to drain the water out. And then we'll run the pump to get the water out of the pump. Well, I dumped it on the ground.
It's okay, we have a towel right
It's
here.
a tiny, tiny, minuscule amount of water. So now we're just going to run the pump for a second to get any water that's in the pump out of the pump. Because I did upgrade this pump.
Yeah, that's our water pump.
The original pump, this is the replacement, was mounted over on that side. But this pump produces 65 PSI. So
It's amazing.
yeah, so it's amazing. The original pump was set at 40 PSI, and that's why we don't ever use city water hookup. We just use the fresh water out of the tank with that pump because Airstream installs a 40 PSI water regulator in the city water connection in the inlet, and I hate that.
Right.
So we just run the pump always and have 65 PSI.
And the lines are capable of withstanding, don't worry everyone.
Yeah, PEX is rated at 160 PSI. Since there's no bypass on the water pump to run antifreeze through, I made this a couple years back. This is just a quick connect for my air compressor hose. You can buy blowout plugs. I did it the hard way and made one. But I like the quick connect on the end. So I've turned the air compressor down to about 40 to 50 PSI. I'm going to screw this into the water inlet, connect the hose, and blow the lines out.
Stop, guy.
Now we can go around and open all the faucets up one by one. I'm going to get this one. I just have to throw a shower since I'm right here. To me, this is the most useless feature on any RV. To me. We've never ever used it, but I have to winterize it every year.
Yeah.
It would be more practical if it was on the other side.
Or an option.
Yeah, I'd delete it if I could. That's the hot side. And the cold side. Same thing inside here. Run air through the hot side and then the cold side. It's just air now.
Yeah, that one is pretty good.
And don't forget to flush the toilet to get the water out of the valve there too.
That's a pretty violent flush.
Sounds healthy. Alright. Now I'm also gonna open up the low point drains again just to see if more water comes out since it's under pressure now.
Better safe than sorry.
I just hear air. Yep, just air coming out now. I'm gonna take a gallon of antifreeze and just dump it down the drain to fill the traps. Now I'm gonna dump some of this into the toilet, maybe just a couple inches just to keep that seal from drying out and cracking. That's it.
There you have it.
Good till spring. So one final thought is the batteries. We have in here 2 AGM batteries. Now, a lot of people like to pull the batteries and put them inside on a trickle charger. However, a fully charged battery will not freeze. In the past, all I've done is just disconnected the positive and negative sides and just left them. And I've never had a single problem. This year, I'm not even gonna disconnect them because we have solar on this trailer. So if the batteries get down a little low, the solar will keep it topped off all winter.
Which is great, especially on days like today.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna, there's a battery disconnect, I'm not gonna disconnect it, not gonna unhook the batteries, I'm just gonna let the solar do its thing all winter long.